Welcome to Asian Horizon. So today I'm going to look at the decision by the European Union to not ratify the Comprehensive Agreement of Investment with China. That was made in early May due to the environment that is now between the EU and China, when the EU imposed sanctions on China and China reciprocated by imposing sanctions on EU officials and other officials in Europe. Now, what does this mean for the relationship between the European Union and China going forward? Well, I don't think it's going to impact trade that much. I think, in fact, trade between the EU and China even will increase in the coming years, as we have seen in recent years. Therefore, this decision will not make any major impact on trade relations and economic relations. This is more of a political statement and really kind of reflects the current environment between the EU and China. Now, this is not very healthy and conducive for long-term stability in relations between the EU and China. Therefore, I think in Brussels, there probably will need to be also some rethinking in terms of, the way forward and how to really, first of all, how to manage relations with China, how to approach and thinking about relations with China, and also perhaps how to increase dialogue with China to really find a good understanding and really balance relations in the future. Because in the long term, we are seeing increased infrastructure connections between Europe and China. There are now increased rail logistics, transport corridors emerging. There is an increasing rail logistics flowing between China and Europe every year. And that is probably just going to increase as we see more infrastructure corridors built between Europe and China. In addition, we're also seeing China increasing its footstep in the Middle East, both in terms of logistics and freight train logistics between China and Turkey, also with a recent strategic agreement between China and Iran, also with the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. We're seeing increased Chinese investments in infrastructure corridors, transportation corridors, industrial projects, energy projects, agricultural projects, and business and trade across the Middle East and South Asia. And this is also going to increase with Europe going forward. But it's also going to be important to really balance political relations and have a good understanding. So that is probably an important area for the European Union and for China to really find a path going forward. Because a permanent disagreement and permanent conflict on political issues is not really healthy to really maintain a good balanced relationship. So that is probably going to be key for the European Union and for China going forward. And it goes both ways in terms of transparency, openness, and really finding a good balance in relations. So that's just an update, but I really think that trade relations with, between Europe and China will increase. And if some, EU countries were to, want to kind of play a trade card and maybe threaten to, distance itself in terms of trade with China, I don't think that is, really going to happen. But even if that were to happen, that's not going to necessarily change China's position on various issues. So rather engagement and dialogue is, I think, the way forward to really find a balanced approach and really maintain relations in the long term, because that is going to be key. But as Europe and China share geography on the Eurasian continent, we are really destined to see increased infrastructure corridors, increased transportation corridors, and energy corridors also. So I think that is really where we're going to see the future direction between Europe and China going forward. Thank you so much for joining, and please remember to subscribe to Asian Horizon. I look forward to see you next week.